Hello, dreamers! This is A Dream in Japan, and just like you, I bet this is probably your 10,000th video because you have officially submitted your JET application and now you are waiting. And I was exactly like you, a year ago and 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I put in that application and I was extremely hopeful, but I didn't get it. When the results came out in early January, and yes, you have to wait until early January. When the results came out in early January, I didn't get it, and I was super depressed. So, that was a tough experience for me. However, I did a lot in the year in between application periods. Your letters are already in. So this is all just gonna scare you. Hopefully it doesn't scare you. Hopefully you felt very confident, and that's exactly what JET's about. It's just about being confident in who you are and speaking your language and being excited to be a foreigner in Japan. I started to get my TEFL certification. Not going to lie, I got the cheapest one on the market. Like, I paid a little bit over $200. And I did it online. I didn't have any practicum experience. I just got that super basic certificate, but it showed I wanted to at least teach. I did, however, do practicum experience. I volunteered at the Los Angeles Public Library, teaching English one time a week. I did that for about 6 months or so. And it was the greatest experience. It actually showed me that I actually really wanted to be teaching, which is good because now I'm doing that in Japan. Teaching a foreign language is definitely different than teaching, and being an assistant language teacher is definitely different than teaching as well. So, there's different things you have to be aware that you're in store for if you do get the JET program. So during that year, in between my applications, so I worked at the library, I got my TEFL certification. I took about 3 months of Japanese classes, but they were pretty expensive and I was sort of tuckered out. So I continued learning hiragana and katakana and sort of studied, but I didn't really learn any Japanese, let's be honest. So I also did something that some of you maybe should consider. If you really think you want to go to Japan this next year, and if you don't get JET, it'll be too late for other options. During that year, after I was turned down, I applied for Interac, which is a very similar program to JET, but nowhere near as supportive and full of connections and other things as the JET program has. I did apply for Interac. I did the interview for Interac. I got the placement at Interac. However, Interac does a cool thing, and it lets you defer how long, or defer when you leave. So that meant that I could apply for JET again the 2nd November, and I could defer until after I at least knew if I got an interview, and I could actually defer again. The latest time being able to leave in April. So, which is good because you technically should know if you got a place by March. That doesn't give you a lot of time to get ready to go for Interac, but it's something. So basically, if you really want to go to Japan, maybe have a backup plan. I had a friend who had gotten accepted into JET, and she gave me some advice. She told me, in your statement of purpose, you should state the reason you want to return to the United States. So the JET program is not a permanent visa program. They aren't after people who want to stay in Japan indefinitely, specifically. So on your application, it's definitely not a good idea to say stuff like, I want to teach in Japan because it'll let me get married and stay in Japan forever. Probably not your best bet. So I went with the safer, I have a plan, I want to go to graduate school, I want to do this during my time in Japan, I plan to do these things to support my future career, blah, blah, blah. I also talked about teaching at the public library in my statement of purpose, what I had learned, the cultural experiences that I had gained through that, and blah, blah, blah. I have other cultural experiences. However, I just decided to highlight the recent one and the teaching one because you only have so many words you can work with. So after all, the second time around, my second application in November 2015, I felt very confident and I wasn't super worried. After 2 excruciating months of waiting, January rolled around. I got the email saying that I had an interview. So I did my interview, felt great, was totally awesome about it, went home for a couple months. I heard back probably mid-March. It was right around my birthday when we got notifications of not placement, but of acceptance. And then I didn't hear anything about my placement until about the end of June, and we left on July 27th. So it gave me all of a month. So I heard first contact from my predecessor. My school's contact came about a week later via my predecessor. So really just my predecessor contacted me. I did receive a packet from my Board of Education and my city sort of telling me where I was. I had a little tourist pamphlet of my little city that I'm placed in. And it was a pretty smooth process. I'm going to talk about the interview in another video a little bit closer to when interviews will be happening, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, so basically you're in for the long haul, guys. I'm sorry. It really does suck, but if you do get it, the waiting is necessary. What's crazy for actual jets, so ones of us that are already here, is that we have to re-sign our contract in basically now. So when you guys are applying, so we have to re-sign so that they know how many spots you guys have. So for the ones of us that just got here, we've only really been here 4 months, and you have to re-sign for your second year. So my advice to you is start thinking now, because do you only want to be here 1 year, which would mean from your first July-ish to July, or do you want to stay at least 2 years or longer? If you want to stay longer, it's not an issue, but I would suggest that you sort of have the decision in your head before coming to Japan. So good luck, guys. I really do wish you all the best. It's a great program. I'm not going to lie. I definitely think after being here for 4 months, JET is the best program to come to Japan with. The support system is awesome. I have amazing other JET friends. They all have other friends because some of them have been here 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So the community is amazing. You can travel around and stay with other jets, so you're saving on hotel fees. You can get advice from the people in charge. You can get advice from your Board of Education. The schools are sort of used to having these changing foreigners, and everyone is fairly welcoming and nice, at least out in the Inaka where I am. So, and that's the final thing in the video. I've been asked several times by many people already on Facebook and on YouTube. So thank you guys for watching and being curious. I am not going to reveal the city that I am in for safety purposes. However, it'll be very obvious from the majority of my videos that I am in Oita Prefecture. So Oita Prefecture is on the southern island, and it's on the north half of the southern island. What's really great about Oita, for me, so much, is that we have the Oita Airport, which it has very cheap inter-country flights, which is really nice. We're also extremely close to Korea. Flying to Korea from our airport is like $60 US, $60 US, which is crazy to me. We also have The Shinkansen is only about a 30-minute regular train ride, and then we can get to the Shinkansen. We also have ferries that go from our prefecture directly across to Osaka, as well as Nara. So I took one of those to Kyoto. If you watched my last video, I took the ferry from Oita Prefecture to Osaka, and then I took the train up to Kyoto. So travel, even though we're kind of far away from like the super big cities, travel is really nice and convenient here. So I did not ask for this placement. So that's one of the other questions. Originally on my application, I asked for Kyoto and Kagoshima. One has sort of the sewing industry, one has more of the film industry. I didn't really know where I wanted to be. I'd never been to Japan, so I was just putting places that sounded interesting and didn't contain 12 feet of snow during the winter because I'm from Arizona and I don't know what snow is at all. So I picked those. In my interview, I'll talk about this later, but in my interview I actually said, I'll go anywhere that doesn't require me to like wear mucklucks for 12 months. So I'm very happy where I'm placed. We get very minimal, if any, snow. The temperature is cool-ish. We're a coastal kind of prefecture, so it's definitely green and lush. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Good luck on your applications. I know you will be rewatching and watching every video on YouTube, just like I was, from Jets who are in Japan, because you are prospective Jets. So good luck, and I hope you make it. Let me know if you do, and I'd love to see you sometime in Japan. Bye, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. More videos to come, and like the video. And if you didn't like it, don't.